That's quite intriguing. But I'm not too sure that all this will just be positive for all the time we're going to be doing this. So are we going to be looking at negatives in some of this?
In fact, in every session that we've talked about, in every session that we're going to look at, that's exactly what the conversation is going to be about. What's the neutral? What's the positive? What's the negative? Over history, every time when the Stone Age came, I'm sure they had the same thing. I remember stories about reading about with the invention of the automobile, the car. There were some serious issues with society, saying that the car was scaring away their horses. They couldn't really put their mind like, the car was scaring the horses on the road. They didn't like cars. They wanted to ban cars because the car was scaring the horses and the buggy. Right, so when the horses get scared, that's making the ride uncomfortable for the people who are either on the horse or in the carriage. Right, so you see this.
So that's the kind of thing we are probably going to be experiencing here too.
We're already experiencing when you say, okay, let's do cashless, and everybody's like, oh no, I want to see my money, but the money's there, or they say, okay, pay at the pump with your card. People are like, is it safe? Is it safe? But you buy an air ticket from the internet. It's the same internet that car is something similar is going to go through anyway.
Now, okay, so we're going to be looking at the neutrals, we're going to be looking at the negatives, we're going to look at positives. Absolutely. At every point that we're going to be discussing this.
At every point, at home, family, technology, work, the interactions between the three.
Now, the exhibitors, what kind of, what are you saying to them? Anybody can come?
Just about anybody that thinks that they want to meet CEOs who are coming for a conference that deals with work and family, or they have products they can use to help workers at work or families at home, any kind of products that would alleviate, make their life better, or cybersecurity to fight cybercrime. All of these kind of exhibitors or people who create products that are just for well-being, fast-moving consumer goods, people who create the noodles, the people who create the milk, the people who create the things we use every day, our gari, etc. This is a good place to come and meet with the business owners that could impact how your business.
I would even imagine the farming community should also be there too.
In fact, the farming community are fast becoming probably one of very, very, very important. They already are, because 70% of our GDP has come from farming. But I think we're seeing leaps and bounds about to happen in farming, and we hope that it can happen. And with that will become a new change. Now, everybody's going to run to the city and
the rural communities.
Now, these people who are in the city used to city life. So with their families, when they move back to rural community, how will they use technology to work and live
happily,
and use technology to do that? There's probably going to be some technology component to that. So you bring up an interesting point. These are the kind of things that could be drummed up at the conference, depending on which session you attend.
Okay, now another area I'd like us to begin to look at before you leave would be for those who are physically challenged. I don't think we're doing enough in that regard here, especially for them to acquire knowledge or have access, to information, access to better interactions, or access or opportunities for better understanding of their predicament. Sure. We don't seem to have that here. So will some of the speakers be looking at these issues?
The speakers are going to be looking at a broad range of issues. But when it comes to that,
break it down.
Well, when it comes to that, though, I mean, you have people who are physically challenged to some degree. Depends on what kind of physical deficiencies that they have, challenges that they have. But now you live in a world where I know people who live in a country because they just want to live there. Their work is software online. They don't pay taxes in that country. They don't work in that country. They just live there. But their work is in a second country, and they're from a third country. And even if you're physically challenged, if you can type, and there's several ways of typing, and there's degrees of physical challenge.
Yes.
If you can type, there's a world of opportunities you can be exposed to. But the other question Nigeria tends to be is, until we find solutions to...
Hello, Hashim, 1 second. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Sam calling from Bariga.
Okay, Frank from Bariga, quickly, your question or your comment?
Yes, the program is nice. I want to confirm if there is any provision for students on high information technology now that ASU is on strike.
I like that, Frank. That is beautiful. That's it. Hashim, it says, look, is there any provision for students ASU is on strike, so can they come in there and see what's going on?
It's happening on the campus of Lagos Business School, one of our revered business schools in Nigeria. So definitely students can come. We encourage you to come. Just give us a call. We can even work out a special rate for you.
Did you pick that information? Try and give a call to Hashim. It says once you're a student or your body of students, you can identify yourselves and they can actually create some kind of discount for you to be at that conference. So don't miss that opportunity. Okay, yeah, you will get a look at. Hello? We lost that. Please, we'd just like to appeal to our viewers again. If your voice calls are not going through, then use our SMS line, or you go to the website, for the conference, and then can drop in your questions, your comments, or just register straight ahead. I'm sure Hashim will be glad to treat your registration. Now you were looking at how we can use this, to approximate, physically challenged persons, and you were saying yes, if you're physically challenged to some degree, you can then do some work and yeah. Okay, so let's hear that.
But that's just for work. But for technology, again, it does get expensive. But that's where we can have solidarity as a country and decide what we want to do, because even for people who are mobile, there's so many more. Like, I do see people now with certain bicycles they use their hand on, but there's more advanced stuff you can do with new machines that can move you around. You can do a lot of stuff. You can even go out of the house. You can drive.
You can drive?
You come out and it puts you inside the car. You can drive.
You slide out of the car?
Yeah, I mean, is that a possibility? Yes. Is it happening here in Nigeria or anywhere in the world? I'm not sure, but it's a possibility. And as long as humans,
you should be thinking about.
Because humans, as long as we put our mind to it, we said we're going to the moon.
Now we went.
We went, right? Whatever we put our minds to, we can do.
All right. Hello.